The Targaryen girl convinces her horse lord husband to invade. We won't be able to stop them.
Dothraki don't sail. Every child knows that. They don't have discipline. They don't have armor.
There are countless memorable scenes in Game of Thrones, the kind that get picked apart over and over again. But there's one quiet moment that always leaves a lasting impression on me. It's not an epic battle or a shocking twist. It's a calm, emotionally loaded conversation tucked away in Season 1. Robert and Cersei sitting alone, simply talking. No dragons, no swords, just two people whose marriage is broken beyond repair.
17 years later, holding it all together.
And yet, in this short exchange, nearly 20 years of history unfold in just a few minutes. What makes it even more impressive is that this scene wasn't pulled directly from George Martin novels. It was created by the show's writers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Yes, the same ones who were heavily criticized for the show's final season. But here, their writing shines. Before we dig deeper into why this scene is so powerful, we need to understand the moment it's set in.
It's a neat little trick you do. You move your lips and your father's voice comes out.
At this point in the story, King Robert has just agreed to assassinate a young Daenerys Targaryen.
The whore is pregnant.
A decision that causes Ned Stark to step down as Hand of the King.
I want him dead. Mother and child both.
The political climate is deteriorating. Cersei is on edge, fearing that Robert might discover her children's true parentage. And Ned is piecing together the truth. War seems inevitable. And in the middle of all this chaos, the king and queen sit down for what seems like just a political chat. But it quickly becomes something much more personal. What's striking is how much depth this scene gives Robert, a character often dismissed as a reckless drunk. We usually see him as a man haunted by loss, numbing himself with pleasure. But here, we glimpse someone far more aware than we realized. He's not oblivious to the cracks in his kingdom or his personal failures. He understands the political games people play around him, and he knows how fragile his grip on power really is.
There's a war coming, Ned. I don't know when, I don't know who we'll be fighting, but it's coming.
Beneath the surface, Robert is deeply insecure, not just about being king, but about what others think of him.
Still those in the Seven Kingdoms who call me usurper.
People called him a usurper, a fool, a failure. But he wasn't naive. He saw the rot in his kingdom clearly. He just didn't know how to fix it. At the same time, this scene strips away layers from Cersei too. She's always projected control, fierce, intelligent, untouchable. But here, we see someone vulnerable. Someone who once hoped for love and never got it. She tries to present herself as emotionally detached, but there are cracks in her performance. Her pain slips through not out of love for Robert, but out of wounded pride. She gave herself to a man who never saw her, who only ever saw someone else.
17 years later, holding it all together. Don't you get tired?
Every day.
How long can hate hold a thing together?
Well, 17 years is...
As they discuss their failed marriage, there's a rare, brief connection between them, a shared understanding of everything that's gone wrong. And just when you think this moment might lead to healing, something heartbreaking happens.
What was she like?
Cersei finally asks about the woman who lived in Robert's heart all these years, Lyanna Stark, and Robert's answer is chilling. He admits he can't even remember her face. For someone who built his entire persona around the loss of this woman, that confession changes everything.
You want to know the horrible truth? I can't even remember what she looked like. I only know she was the one thing I ever wanted. Someone took her away from me, and 7 kingdoms couldn't fill the hole she left behind.
It reveals that Robert wasn't mourning a real person. He was chasing a fantasy, an idea of love that never truly existed. This adds a darker layer to his grief. He remembers every battle, every enemy, every tavern girl, but not the woman he claimed to love most, because perhaps he never really knew her. He just needed something to cling to, a reason to feel tragic, to justify his emptiness. Now her story becomes even more tragic. Because while Robert deluded himself with fantasies, Cersei was hoping, at least at first, for something real. She wanted their marriage to work. She wanted his attention, his affection.
Was it ever possible for us? Was there ever a time, ever a moment?
No.
But once she realized he would never love her, bitterness took over.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
Doesn't make me feel anything.
Even when she claims she doesn't care anymore, you can see it's a lie. Her voice falters, her face tenses. The pain is still there. Not the pain of lost love, but of rejection, of being overlooked for someone who never even had to try. And here's the thing. This entire conversation only happens because Cersei already knows what she's going to do. She's made up her mind. She's going to get rid of Robert. This is her final attempt to make sense of everything. Her last chance to understand why she was never enough for him. It's not closure, it's dissection, and it changes nothing. But in the silence that follows, something has shifted. Not in their marriage, that was long dead, but in how we see them. Suddenly, this isn't just a fantasy show. It's a brutally honest portrait of two people who failed each other in every possible way. This scene doesn't need battles or dragons to leave an impact. It shows us what the show was truly capable of, capturing the quiet tragedy of two people broken by time, regret, and pride. And all of it unfolds in one room through one conversation. It's not about heroes or villains. It's about pain, ego, and disillusionment. It's about how even in a world of magic and war, the most powerful stories are the ones rooted in raw human emotion. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know in the comments what other underrated scenes you'd like to see explored. Share this with your fellow Game of Thrones fans, and by liking this video and leaving a comment, you'll help the algorithm notice me, and that kind of support means the world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.